The second part of the fall protection system is the connecting device. There are three types of connecting devices we want to cover today. Number one, the shock absorbing lanyard. Number two, the self-retracting lifeline. And number three, a rope grab vertical lifeline combination. The first connecting device we want to talk about is the shock absorbing lanyard. When we think about a shock absorbing lanyard, it's exactly that. It's a device that's going to lessen the shock on a worker's body. If you take a fall from 2, 4, 6 feet and you free fall that much, you can generate 3,000 to 4,000 pounds of force on your body. So connecting devices are designed to diminish that shock. And in fact, what we're supposed to be able to do per OSHA is to take that force down below 1,800 pounds, and per ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, below 900 pounds. The shock absorbing lanyard is one way to do that. A shock absorbing lanyard can typically be web, can be rope, or could be made of wire rope cable. This particular shock absorbing lanyard is a low profile shock absorbing lanyard. The shock absorber is actually built into this webbing. It is tubular. So what you want to do with this lanyard is inspect that just like you do your harness before you use it each day. What are some of the things you're going to inspect on a shock absorbing lanyard? One's going to be your snap hook. These snap hooks are designed and required to be double locking, self-closing, self-locking. That means that I have to push from the back, pull from the front, and it should close on its own. And when it does that, it should lock into place. Also, I want to be inspecting my webbing. Just like harnesses, we want to inspect for cuts, frays, burns, tears. And then of course on a lanyard you have a hook on the other end, so you want to inspect that as well. Also, as with harnesses, you want to check and make sure that you have a label there for traceability. When using a shock absorbing lanyard, after you inspect it and after you've determined that you're going to use this piece of equipment, it's also very important to understand what happens with this lanyard after a fall. This lanyard is designed, again, as we've already said, to arrest your fall and diminish the shock forces. For it to do that, it has to have a built-in shock absorber that elongates after a fall. So after a fall has occurred with a shock absorbing lanyard, the potential 4 foot of additional elongation to the 6 foot lanyard attached to a 6 foot worker with a 2 foot safety factor, that worker needed to be at least 18 foot from the next lowest thing that he could hit. Now, you're required to have fall protection at 4 foot in industrial applications, 6 foot in construction, 10 foot at scaffold. If you're working lower than 18 foot, what are you going to use as a connecting device? Because this won't work.